Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm making this soap with this oil. This is palm oil. It's Nigerian red palm oil. It's what I'm used to. I'm not used to the processed ones that have no color. And so I thought to try out palm oil for the first time, but then I chose to use the colored one and see how it would turn out in soap. So this is a beginner friendly recipe. So I'm going to explain what happens just like I would explain to a beginner. And so you can follow along. So this is my hard oil, and that's cocoa butter there. And then next, I'm adding some shea butter, and then I will be adding some lard before I melt that down. Now, when it comes to creating a beginner recipe, you can create any recipe. You don't have to use as many oils as I do. Just 3 oils can do the trick. Usually, I go for shea butter, coconut oil, and olive oil. I will leave a recipe down below in my description box if you want to try this out as a beginner. So I've just taken my hard oils to melt, and now I am pouring in some water and adding some citric acid. This is a totally optional step. You do not need this step. The only reason I use this is I try to combat hard water since I sell my soaps, and I know that some places can have hard water. So next, and this is an important step, of course, this is the sodium hydroxide. I'm measuring that out. You should always wear your gloves, of course, long sleeves. Like I always say, don't do as I do as I say, and wear goggles. And then in a nice ventilated area, you pour that into your measured out distilled water. And here I'm using the heat transfer method. Again, this is a really simple method, and I think it's also a beginner friendly method. So what the heat transfer method is this is an exothermic reaction, and so it causes heat to be it causes heat from the reaction of the sodium hydroxide and water. And so yeah, and that's the temperature. You can see that 215, and so that hot solution is going to melt down the hard oils. Okay, so I actually didn't go to melt down the hard oil. Sorry guys. I had said I went off to melt it, but no, I didn't, because this was the heat transfer. So now I am melting that down. And by the way, sodium hydroxide is also known as lye. So if you're looking for it to get it, you can get it. It's called lye, Lye. And so you melt that down, and then you can measure out your soft oils separately. That's actually the safer thing to do as a beginner, but I just like to, because I want to have less things to wash, so I measure out mine in the solution. Anyways, for anyone who's been following me, I bet you can tell my voice sounds a bit different. I have had a really bad cold for the last 1 week, and I completely lost my voice. I had done this video over a week ago, and I was supposed to put it up, but I had no voice. This is exactly what I sounded like. Hey guys, I just wanted you guys to hear what my voice sounds like right now. Clearly this is not going to work, so I'm going to have to wait a few more days to record this. And yes, so see you guys. Bye. So clearly I wasn't able to do my video, but anyway, so now I can talk a bit. And now I'm just measuring in my liquid oils, and I did measure in some olive oil, avocado, castor oil, and then now I'm adding in my pre-measured palm oil, because I already did measure and factor that into my recipe. So this is the only thing that makes this video look extra different. It's just the palm oil, but I mean, it's still oil, so it's still a very beginner recipe. And so I'm stirring that in now with my stick blender, and that's all it takes to make soap. So if you're new, you can actually learn from this video, and I will leave a simple recipe, because this recipe has about 8 different oils, and I wouldn't recommend using that many oils for a beginner, because there's a lot that goes into formulating a recipe. So now I'm pouring that into my little mold that I just bought recently. And I bought it because I like to make my soaps in small batches, since I have to make videos and I don't sell as much as I make. So yeah, it made more sense to make in smaller batches. So now this is just me trying to do a texture, and I know some people like to do this type of texture, but it wasn't working well for me. So you would see in the next few moments that I was just kind of trying things out, then I would go away, wait for 30 minutes, come back, try something else out. Here is just me enjoying the texture, and it was actually quite satisfying looking at the soap as I did this. So hey, I just continued. So, anyway, how are you guys preparing for Christmas? It's just in 2 days. Oh my goodness, I can't even believe it. But I'm so excited because honestly, the last few years I had not had a Christmas I was this excited about. I'm excited about this one. It's just, ooh, so much joy in my heart right now. A lot has happened this year, and I am so thankful for the year because I feel like this is a year that taught me to grow in many ways. Anyway, enough with the preaching, guys. So, to do the texture, if you're obviously learning and trying to learn to do textures, I would recommend you stick blend a little bit more. That's what I did not do. I didn't stick blend onto it to a thick trace. That's what you can do to avoid this stress I had here. So, blend it to a thick trace. Make sure it's really thick before pouring it in, and then that way you can just texturize almost immediately. For me, I had to wait about 30 minutes to do this texture you can see here. But eventually I did love the soap. You can see that that little bit of palm oil, I used only about 10% of palm oil in my entire recipe. And look how it actually changed the entire color of the soap. So, it's just so beautiful. I love the orange color. The only thing is you're going to see what happens eventually. Anyway, so this is the next day, and here I am unmolding my soap. And yeah, I'll let you guys watch it. I really love the color that this got. I'm sure you saw there a few seconds ago that my soap mold did change in color, and I was hoping, let me speak in the present. I'm hoping that when I wash it, even though I know what happened, but I was hoping, I'll just speak in reality, I was hoping that the color would go off my soap mold, but you're gonna see that it didn't. But anyway, so now I'm just cutting these soaps, and they are just so beautiful and so luscious, and that palm oil did add a real difference to my bubbles, and I will be showing you guys as well a little lather test I did at the end. So stick on, so watch till the end to see what I did there. So now I am just showing you what happened to my soap mold. This is my soap mold after I've washed it, and you can see that the color stuck. That's the one thing about palm oil. It stains everything. It stains so much. And that's a clean mold right there. So yeah. So now I am going to do the lather test, and this is significantly different from some of my soaps because my soaps do I try to make my soaps to be very conditioning. I do not want them to be drying to the skin, and so my recipe is very different. But this one, look at how much lather came out of just a little rub there, and this was just the scraps from my beveling, and I just squeezed it all together and thought to use that. So anyway, yeah, it did have a very good amount of lather. I did increase my coconut oil. So coconut oil, if you're a beginner, is good for lather. I did use castor oil as well, which is good for lather. And then palm oil also does add some lather to soap, and you can see it here. I can also see that there's a little bit of a tint, like a yellowy tint. I don't know if it's because obviously this soap was just made 24 hours ago. So maybe that's why it still has a yellowy tint, but it's not a big deal. It washes off. It's not like it stains now that it's soap. You can see it's slightly yellow in the water, but it makes no difference at all. So overall, I am super pleased with palm oil, and it has made me think I'm gonna have to. Sorry, my voice is still a little bad. It's made me think I'm going to probably start incorporating palm oil into my recipes. So thank you guys for watching, and Merry Christmas. Have a great day. Bye.